Today, I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I know that this morning I was just thinking about the Japanese comfort women and the stories. And, I've heard about this story for a long time. I knew about it probably about 15, 16 years ago. And this sounds horrific, the stories. And I can't remember if it was, I think it was something on TV that I watched. I felt it was believable, whatever I was hearing. Um, but yeah, I've now with the new research that I've done over the last 10 years of just how many liars there are, how many people that would go in front of a camera and talk about a very vivid experience where they met God and where God spoke to them, and where they didn't see God's face but they saw God's beard, and saying things like this, and also saying things like, yes, I'm back. God was like, yes, you're back. We're welcome back. And there's some people that can go into great details about things that didn't happen. And and I think if you've gone through years of seeing this, it suddenly makes you think, what the hell are people? Why are they lying? Why are they saying this? I mean, it could have been a delusion, but they literally talk like they're believing everything. Okay, I think the first thing that you can tell with lies is if someone is talking about a sort of godly experience, often they go off topic, often they want to talk about their life and all the other things. It's almost like a self ego sort of thing. They start off by just explaining their background and anything that has happened in their life, and then they start talking about the sort of bullshit lie. And you listen to the backstory. They're army officer or they work in this thing, and it sounds like they're just normal, believable people. And then they just start talking a bunch of nonsense about something that was either just a delusion or just something that they're lying about. And when you see this, it makes you question everything. And I don't know what's going on with the Epstein case. And some of the videos that I'm watching, it just seems like incredibly exaggerated, incredibly biased against, these are the victims, and constantly calling them victims, but also saying it's alleged crimes. And then you hear people's stories and stuff, and maybe they did meet at 14. Maybe they waited 2 years, and it was like 2 years later that it was, that they had a massage session and it went different. But then you hear the same people later saying that well, the girl who said that, I think she met at 14, she also said that she brought 75 girls to him. And I'm just thinking, well, he's not going to have 75 massages. I mean, that massage is fairly boring. There's some people that say, oh, I'll come every week, and they come 3 times and then they get bored, and okay, maybe they go on to someone different, but at the same time, it's fairly boring just lying down doing nothing. And I think I don't know, I mean, that there is some people that can have long sessions and stuff, but I want to believe the truth, and I hate trying to find the truth of YouTube, because I feel like so many people are trying to angle the story to however they want to fit the story. They've chosen a side to support, and they're supporting, and they're trying to back up that person whilst making it look like they're giving you an option to believe, and that they're not. I like listening to stories where you have the story and you say, these are the cases on this side, this is the case on this side, what do you think? And I find there's too many videos on YouTube where they're not giving you the option to choose what is the truth. They're just kind of giving you facts about the other side, but constantly angling it to make you believe certain things. And this has made me question the comfort women story. There was a YouTube video where there was a woman who, in my view, seemed a little bit crazy. I mean, if she had gone through some sort of horrible 3-year kind of rape camp, then I can imagine her being quite mad because of something like that. But for her to say things like, any babies that were born were drowned, I just think, well, if a baby was born, that means that the woman would have had to, not have sex for 3 months, because not many people would want to rape a 8-month-old pregnant, 8-month pregnant woman. And after the birth, I mean, you wouldn't want to have sex with someone who's just given birth, because their vagina is probably not, and their belly is probably not, it's you have to think about things that are believable. I don't really want to think about these stories, but at the same time, I want to know truth about, like, the world. Like, if I'm God, if I'm Christ, I feel like I'd want an accurate perspective of stories, and it's hard to know an accurate perspective of a story if you're confused by just so many lies and people trying to force beliefs on you. by angling it and always referring to people as victims, when it's like, well, I want to work out for myself how much of a victim they are. As someone who goes through massage, I want to know this. I could say that I do or have done stuff, and then I could also say that I started when I was very, very young. Okay, I didn't start when I was very, very young, but if I say both things could be facts, but technically I could be doing the extra stuff, far later, like 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, she's talking. These people are talking about things that happened to them 20 years ago, so maybe they're kind of mixing things that happened to them when they were over 18 with the fact that they started when they were 14, but maybe when they started when they were 14 it was just like once a year or once a month, or and then to say things like they've brought 75 young girls to the same person, it's just like, well, he's not going to be having them all for himself. And then it's just like, well, if other people were involved, then other people didn't see it as wrong, and if they didn't see it as wrong, then maybe it questions whether it was wrong, because it's a societal thing. Like, if a society accepts something as the truth, it doesn't mean that it's the truth. But if something, if lots of people accept something as being okay and not bad, then it doesn't. There's so many people that would just take that and just be like, they're all bad, they're all wrong, and then judge them all in the same way, judge them, and it's just so, it's I don't want to be on anyone's side. I just know that every situation would be different, and I feel like it's be easy to merge things that are true, and then mix it in a way that makes it sound so much worse. There's probably loads of people that have parents that are masseuses, and maybe they started massage too when they were 14, 15 with their parents' help, but their parents would have made sure that they did less or something. There's probably situations like that, and then there's I don't even know if I want to talk about it, because I'm just, if there's hundreds of victims, why is there nothing online? Why is there only about 6 people online? And I'm not saying that it wasn't abusive or wrong. I'm just saying people seem to be hyping things up, and then they were talking about how the government was covering it all up, and I don't know. I am, I, maybe the government wasn't covering it up. They were just seeing these girls as being masseuses that, were asked to take the top off, which, okay, is bad. And if they're 16, you shouldn't be paying 16-year-olds to take their top off. But I don't know, if they, it's different degrees of bad, and it's just really frustrating me how people are. And then I'm just like, well, what else am I going to do? If I'm not going to watch these YouTube videos, and if I'm going to start like doing something different, what else am I going to do? I'm going to go to the spa today, of course. But yeah, I just want to know how long people are going to keep ignoring me for, because yeah, there is a big problem in the world, and liars is people who lie, or people exaggerate, or people who think that it's fine to mix or brainwash other people whilst claiming that others are the are the ones in the wrong. I feel like so many people are in the wrong that it's hard to know who is in the wrong. You're in the wrong if you take stories that aren't facts and present them as facts, or mixed truths, or exaggerate stuff, or promote exaggerations. And yet these people who are promoting exaggerations would be that they're the ones that are correct. And I wish people were smarter. I think that's the key. The key to fixing this is if people were smarter, then they'd be more rational in their approach to things. And